Thank you all for coming and giving us the support and also showing solidarity for our sisters and brothers in Palestine. It is a very grave concern over ongoing development in Gaza and the West Bank. Malaysian Women Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine expresses deep alarm over Israel's continued violations in Gaza, exposing its blatant disregard for international law and its allies' complicity. At the same time, Israeli military operation, forced displacement, and violent raids have intensified across the West Bank, deepening the humanitarian crisis. Israelis continued killing of Palestinian civilians, making a mockery of the ceasefire, once again exposing its contempt for peace efforts. Thousands of forcibly displaced Palestinians remain barred from returning home to northern Gaza due to Israel's deliberate obstruction, another war crime. Israel continues to block life-saving aid, depriving Palestinians of food, water, medical aid, and shelter that is badly needed now as it is in winter. And this is not only in contravention to the ceasefire agreement, but it is inhumane and a blatant violation of international law. Trump is openly bullying Egypt and Jordan into accepting Palestinians from Gaza by threatening to cut the aid, a farcical and morally reprehensible display that makes a mockery of his high office. Trump's reckless call to let hell loose on Gaza is not just inflammatory, it is unabased incitement to genocide. Raids on refugee camps beginning in Jenin and spreading to Tulkarem, Norsham, and Al-Farah have displaced 40,000 Palestinians. UNRWA warns that this displacement is escalating at an alarming pace. Since October 2023, close to 1,000 Palestinians living in the West Bank have been killed by the Israeli forces. The execution of the 23-year-old Sundus Jamal Muhammad Shalabi, who was 8 months pregnant, especially is reprehensible. Israeli forces blocked medical teams from transferring her to the hospital, dooming both mother and the baby in her womb. This is not an isolated incident, but is a reflection of Israelis' systematic brutality. This heinous act exposes the true nature of Israelis' war on Palestinians, indiscriminate, merciless, and devoid of any regard for their life. A ceasefire is meaningless if Israel continues its occupation, blockade, war crimes, and illegal expansion in the West Bank. The ceasefire must not only hold in Gaza, but also extend to the West Bank, where Israel's military aggression and settler violence continue unabated. The United States of America has a moral and political obligation to ensure that the ceasefire is not a temporary pause in Israeli cycle of destruction. The only true ceasefire is one that lasts until Palestine is free. Trump's proposal to take over Gaza is nothing short of a blueprint for ethnic cleansing. Gaza is not an unclaimed land. It is a home for more than 2 million Palestinians who have endured relentless occupation, siege, and war crime. They have withstood some of the worst bombings in modern history and are now rebuilding their lives brick by brick mortar by mortar. His plan risks the imperialist arrogance, ignorance, and a complete detachment from reality. It is nothing but a grotesque attempt to impose his will on a people whose steadfastness has defied decades of oppression. Gaza is not for sale to imperialist ambitions, nor are its people disposable. Any forced displacement is ethnic cleansing, a crime against humanity that must be condemned. Malaysian Women Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine calls on the world leaders, human rights organization, and Malaysian government to unequivocally reject this lunatic scheme and reaffirm Palestinian sovereignty and self-determination. The problem in East Palestine is not the Palestinian, it is the Israeli occupation. The future of Gaza and Palestine must not be dictated by foreign powers, but by the will of the Palestinian people. Their right to self-determination includes governing their own land, controlling their borders, and deciding their own destiny, free from foreign imposed solutions. Palestinians are not only deeply rooted in their land, but they are also unwavering committed to it. 75 years of occupation, dispossession, and relentless attempts to erase their existence bear this testimony. 50 months of genocide, the darkest time in Gaza, have further proven their resilience as they emerge triumphant against all odds. As historian Dr. Ilang Pape acknowledged, Palestinians' resistance and resilience are still the best guarantees that these demonic plans will not be fully materialized. Their steadfastness remains the ultimate barrier against the forces seeking their erasure. Reaffirm our unwavering support for the Palestinian struggle and categorically reject any plan that seeks to strip them of their land, their dignity, and their future. Gaza is inherently Palestinian and will never be erased, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.